Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. How to see the mind is the topic. Put the light on and see the mind. The only thing that is coming between me and the Lord, between us and the Lord, is this mind. See? If there is no mind, there is no difference between who I am and what the Lord is. It's one and the same. It's this mind which brings about the dichotomy of the divine principle, the pure consciousness. Just like it is only when the mirror comes we see the reflection. If the mirror is not there, we are. We know we have a face. We don't need to see. But the moment mirror comes, we see a face. The moment mind comes, something has to be reflected. Something has to be reflected. And what will be reflected? Really speaking, it's only the self which is reflected. Truthfully speaking, it's the divine who is himself manifesting as everything and being in the mind. Everything and being in the mind is nothing but that Lord alone. But we can't accept that at the moment because it is not our experience. We feel we have to do something, the mind has to contemplate, the mind has to do this, mind has to do that. As long as the mind is functioning, understand the mind is there. How to see the mind? As long as you have the thoughts, or as long as you have got no thoughts and you know that there are no thoughts in the mind, you are seeing the mind. Anger, greed, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsya, anger, greed, jealousy, envy, hypocrisy and arrogance. These are expressions of the mind. If they are expressing, you are alive. You know you are. The mind is alive. If they are not there, you are in silence. You are on the seat of meditation. No thoughts coming in the mind. Empty mind. Don't conclude. Empty mind, devil's workshop. We are not going in that direction. But empty mind, I know there is empty mind. Understand? It is there. And this is the play of the mind. What is the play of the mind? Sometimes it is manifesting, sometimes it is unmanifesting. It is taking you on a roller coaster ride. The whole activity is not in you. The whole activity is not in the Lord. Because the Lord says, I am all that there is. Everything is in me. I am in everything. And yet, while I am supporting everything, I am transcendental to everything, isn't it? What will be the cry of, if water could speak, what will water say? All the waves are in me, I am in all the waves, yet while I am supporting all the waves, I am much more than all the waves put together, isn't it? Think about it. So also the Lord says, so also this pure consciousness says, I support all the mind, all the thoughts, yet I am much more than all the thoughts put together. But where is our fixation? Our fixation is on one thought. And what is that one thought? I am this body, I am an individual, I am a father or a mother or a daughter or a sister. And we are caught up in this thought fixation. It's good in one way because you know the mind is there. Because he asked me, how do you see the mind? So you know, if you are going through ups and downs of life, sometimes there are likes, dislikes, joys, sorrows, hunger, thirst, comfort, discomfort, irritation, agitation, love, all these are feelings. Where do they come? In the mind. So you know, mind is there. Life expresses through the mind. If there is no mind, life will not express. Such a person is called dead. Isn't it? See? So, we have this faculty called the mind, we have this instrument called the mind, and how does it come about? How does the mind come about? Two ways of looking at it. Who said? Through consciousness. Does water say that I want to become waves? It is water, so it doesn't say that I want. It happens, isn't it?
It's an expression.
Does the sun say I want to rise and set? It doesn't say, but phenomena happens, isn't it? Does the gold say I want to become ornaments? No, the phenomena happens. It comes about that way. Similarly, does the consciousness say that I want to become the mind? No, but the phenomena comes about. थोड़ा पानी देना. Warm water. So how does mind come about? Can mind exist independently? Then what are the requirements? Just consciousness is not enough. Not enough. What else?
The body, the neurotransmitters, all the chemical, all the physiological.
So you need two things. What are they? One is the matter and the other is consciousness. This unholy marriage between consciousness and matter brings about a pseudo entity, a non-existent entity called the mind. It's non-existence. Mind is that which is existing in its own absence. Mind is that which is existing in its own absence. But it's there and yet it is not there. This is what the scriptures say, that what Maya is also. That it seems to be there, it appears to be there, but actually it's not there. Nobody has seen the mind. Just because you think thoughts, you think there is a mind, because there must be some place where the thoughts are going on. There is some place where decisions are being made. There is some place where emotions are being felt. And that entity you call as mind. See? Think. So what the mind that we know as we know it at this moment, because we are thinking right now, what he's going to say next, is this is, he didn't cover this point, he didn't cover that point. Our mind is functioning. Our mind is functioning at this moment. But it has come about only because at a very, we are not looking at it from devotional point of view, I will go to that, but from knowledge point of view, consciousness as if gets married to matter, and the union is called, the union brings about the mind. See? And then through this mind, another way of putting it is, when the Lord, the Ishvara, wanting to experience himself, having a desire. Why he has a desire? Why not? He is everything. Who are you to question? As if, the word is as if desiring to experience himself, the moment that desire arises, that I want to experience myself. What do we do when we want to experience ourselves? We go in front of a mirror. Huh? Or we put our hand over the, my beard is growing, it's a bit haphazard, now I need to trim. Or we touch ourselves somewhere, or we scratch, oh, still the body is there. Suddenly the pain comes, oh yes, I am here. See? So, if the Ishvara is saying, if he could say, how do he has a desire to experience himself. How does he experience himself? By becoming many, right? How do you become many? Do you become many, every one of you? How?
Different
Ah. So, with respect to whatever comes in front of you, with respect to that particular person or thing or that situation or that environment, you define yourself, isn't it? She comes in front of me, I become a brother. You come in front of me, I become a son. Ram comes in front of me, I become a friend. My mother comes in front of me, I become a...
in trouble.
Always. Always. Even in satsangs, I get into trouble if she's sitting there in the class. Somehow the talk goes and she says something, and in the middle of satsang it begins. I become a son. So I know that I am one person, but I have become different, I'm playing different roles with respect to the whatever is coming in front of me. See? Exactly the same way. Here, you all are different to me, therefore I am becoming she is different, I am. Yesterday one lady came, I don't know what was her name. Yaad hai tera ko name? The last one, me.
Oh yeah.
Catherine, that short. Catherine, I think.
Yes, Kathleen.
So she was standing outside, so you need a lift somewhere? She says, no. Oh, that was fantastic. What did you say? Everything is. I said, yeah, you are me. Hello, me. And she didn't wait. Immediately she said, yes, me. So beautiful, spontaneous,
Yeah.
That was the last point that we told yesterday, the vision that we gave. You are everything. So the Lord, He is playing with Himself. Yesterday I gave one example, and that was the wave appearing in the river is born out of a desire. The wave born on the ocean is born out of its inherent bliss. The Lord creates the creation out of His inherent bliss, not out of, we say it in that way that it is a desire. It is inherent bliss. And then the moment this desire or this bliss expresses itself, He Himself becomes the manyness. Come back to this individual level. We are there, the consciousness is there, we have Lord's Leela, we came into this body. The moment body came, we entered this body, the mind appeared. The mind appeared. Why did the mind appear? It's the mirror. Mind is also nothing but consciousness. Consciousness is nothing but pure consciousness. Then what is the difference between the mind and the pure consciousness or the self? What is the difference? I told yesterday, if you remember. Already forgotten?
Between the mind and pure consciousness, well, we come from pure consciousness. The mind is just what develops when pure conscious and matter comes together.
It's a projection.
Huh?
It's more like your own projection of when you see things in the world, you project. Everything is, you said space, right? You mentioned about space. Space is within in you. You create the space.
No.
mind is
You're going
transient.
into.
The
I'm just
mind
talking
doesn't
about.
exist.
Say that again.
The mind doesn't really exist, it's transient. It's not, the consciousness always
Someone
is.
asked me yesterday what is mind, and I defined it.
Imagination.
What is mind?
But I was thinking maybe the difference is
Consciousness is the being. Being now.
Consciousness is the being.
Being.
Pure
And
consciousness is
mind
the being.
Thinking, past, future. You know.
Oh, good, okay. But still, it doesn't answer what is mind. It is just one aspect of the mind, past, present, future. Hmm? Make the complete. It's a bundle of thoughts. Consciousness with thoughts is called mind. Mind without thoughts is consciousness. Consciousness with thoughts is mind. Mind without thoughts is consciousness. That's what you're trying in meditation, isn't it? I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not, I am. Then you want to give up that I am thought also and just be. So, on one hand, yes. Now, you will say, we are talking about mind here, na? So, pure consciousness, the self that I am, when it passes through the prism, as if passes through something, passes through itself, it's as if water passing through itself becoming a wave. Gold passing through itself, when it's getting twisted, turned and becomes an ornament. Pure consciousness playing with itself, becoming the mind. And what is that mind? It is the dichomatization of that pure consciousness, the supreme I, becoming the I thought and the that thought. And this interplay between the I thought and the that thought is the entire functioning of the mind.
Can you say unlimited becoming limited in its
As if.
as if
As if it is not a reality. As if. Because anything that is created, anything that comes into existence must go out of existence. Anything that is born must one day die. And is that your experience? You have not died yet, but is that your experience? Yes, you are lying.
No, I know it to be, but it's not my experience.
It is your experience. I'll give you hundreds of examples every day. Is your breath born? Does it die in order for the next breath to be born? Say, there you go. Are you seeing me right now? Every few seconds, are you blinking? Vision is gone. Again it opens up. A new me is seen.
How come you look the same?
It's fault in your vision, not in me. See, it's thinking a bit differently, not just the rigmarole, So everything, your breath, your thoughts, your emotions, your speech, what you see, hear, touch, feel, taste, everything is coming and going. It's born, it stays for some time, it goes away. See? It's not permanent. Yeah, say, you can ask.
It comes into the space and it leaves the space. So
It comes into,
yeah, like the water comes to make the wave and it returns to the
it
water.
returns back to itself.
Yeah.
You come in front of the mirror and then where does the image go?
Yeah,
It goes
if
back
I
to
close
from,
my eyes, this whole room is gone. Nothing exists. When I open it, it reappears.
it reappears. And this is going on from microcosm to macrocosm at a smaller than the smallest particle. This is going on, and the larger than the largest at the cosmic level also it is going on. And it is all the play of the mind. It is nothing to do with the Lord or nothing to do with the self. And where are we caught up? Not in the Lord nor in the self. We are caught up in the mind.
Yeah.
We are caught up in the comings and goings. We are caught up in the birth and the death of everything. And basically we are hitting the axe on our own foot by not catching this game. You cannot change the game. It is going on, but we need to interact with it correctly. When you are a child, you know you want to experiment. In India, the electric sockets are not these slits, they're round ones, So a small child's finger easily goes in. And all children get very, very fascinated by those. Only once that child needs to know that there is some very powerful ghost inside, isn't it? Then we never go. As a child, I used to like playing with the radio. You know, those big radio boxes used to be there. And as a child, you're learning to stand up. Or maybe I was more grown up than learning to stand up. And I enjoyed changing the. Nowadays, you have the remote to change. That time, I used to change the channel on the radio. And sometimes, instead of holding the knob, my finger used to go to the back. And that rod is coming out. Shock. Once or twice. Then what do? Do you stop playing with it? You learn the rules of the game. As a child, you know that parents keep saying, stay away from the fire. The more they say, don't touch the matchbox, don't touch the lighter, don't go near the gas, the more the curiosity. Why? And you get attracted towards it. You burn yourself once or twice. Then what do? You learn the game, the right way of interaction with fire. Have you stopped using fire because you got burnt, or you got electrocuted, or you fell from the cycle, or you drank too much water in the swimming pool? Did you stop swimming? Did you stop cycling? Then what did you do? You learned how to negotiate your way and made that, you became the master and you made that into your slave. That is how we have learned and grown up over the years, isn't it? But somewhere as we grow up and we feel comfortable with our life, we lose that plot. We stop learning and negotiating through life. We only start questioning. That negotiating through life, because there is such a huge time to be spent. A child does not doubt, he finds ways. Why can't we find ways? If mind is our problem, if some situation is a problem, you find solutions. Is that problem going to go away? No. You only find ways. How I can go. I know this situation has not been created by me as an individual. I have not created this situation. The problems are there. Now, when will it go? Will it become more intense? I have got no idea. Now, how do I play with it? We all know it, isn't it? Whether it is a lawyer, it is some case, or the council is after you and they sent a letter. We will charge you $10,000 if you don't cut the bush and which is obstructing the footpath. $10,000. And mom saw it. What will you do? I said, you pay 10,000. You are rich. She said, no, you do something. I said, give me 5. Because I am also a tenant there. You find a way around it by doing some market research, finding the right people who know something about it. Exactly the same way, our mind also. If mind is giving us problem, if mind is keeping us in a loop, if mind is fearful, if mind is continuously thinking about security, if mind is full of desires, if mind is full of aspirations, if mind is full of anger, greed, negative emotions, okay, they're there, they're coming. What do? I look at her and this anger comes up. What do? Learn to negotiate. Instead, what are we doing? It's like I have learned on cycle. Every time I get onto the cycle, after 2 minutes I fall. And whole life you are falling only. That means you have not learned how to bicycle. Isn't it? Imagine that child says, if he could speak and if he was grown up like you, oh, I fell down 10 times. I think I can never walk in my life. Does that happen to a child? The child is learning, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One child came. I had to sit, She's 6 years old. Oh, mummy was teaching her A, B, C. I don't know anything more. she will write only ABC. After 1 year, she wrote A, B, C, D. Oh, mummy was so happy. But today, now that she's gone into the kinder, suddenly she comes to the house. She will, first thing she has to do is she'll sit on my lap and then she'll show, Swamiji, you know? I said, no, I don't know. I don't know what she's going to talk about. I don't know. She'll hold my head like this and she'll say, 1, 2, 3. So that I don't put attention on anyone else. Until 100. I don't know after 100 what comes, but 110 I know. Between I don't know. Because she doesn't know how to speak 101, 102. So 110, 120, 130. Even though she was not comfortable with it, but now she's becoming comfortable. She's learned. When we stop learning in life, when we stop putting that, when we start losing the inspiration about whatever we are doing, that's when giving up happens. So how is Lord or the truth or the reality expressing through us? How do you know it is expressing through you at this moment? Because you're alive. That's not enough. Mind is in between because mind is speaking. Mind is speaking. Mind can never come to know the consciousness. It has to die. But right now the mind is there. So how will you know that the divinity is expressing through you right now?
The consciousness, the
No,
principle.
again, your consciousness, yes, consciousness, but what is its expression? Consciousness doesn't express as.
Through the medium.
Through the medium as what?
Yourself.
The breath through not being coming from the mind.
Huh?
Through not allowing the mind to control you, from letting go of the mind, from not, coming from ego.
When you let go of the mind, what happens?
Yourself.
When you are in
Well, I don't think let go of the mind because it's always going to be functioning, but not allowing it to take control. Maybe just being.
So how would you know when you are moving?
To witness it, to witness the mind.
To witness the mind, okay, but when
when you are the witness, eyewitness.
I witness,
Internal.
witness the mind,
Be present.
you are all doing it right now.
Because I'm thinking. I have
Nah,
thoughts.
nah.
It's like this.
Because the truth never says that I am thinking. Truth never says I am thinking. Lord never says I created the creation. Think.
So being focused and present.
Yes, focused and present. What happens in that moment?
Your being.
The expression I'm saying, because the expression has to be through the mind, isn't it? You cannot say, I have overcome the mind. It cannot be.
Your person.
You are alive, you are in this body, so you cannot go beyond the mind. You cannot escape the mind. Only thing is it will become unmanifest or it will become manifest. When it is manifest, how would you know? Right now you are sitting here. A smile on your face and love in your heart towards everyone. That is its expression. Krishna Bhagwan, whatever calamity came in his life, from the moment he was born, there were only problems after problems after problems. He killed so many demons. At age of 11 or 12, he killed his uncle, who was a big evil fellow. And throughout his life, till the end, where he was the reason, he was not the reason, but his whole clan killed each other and went away. His wives, he called Arjuna, please take my wives back to Hastinapur because all this is going to go to dogs. And while Arjuna was taking away, Krishna Bhagwan is all knowing. He's taking the wives, so many wives were taken away by tribals and looted away. Did he become depressed? Oh my God. Did he? every problem that came in his life, what was his approach? First, a smile. Always approach it with a smile. Where you are, the moment you are happy and smiling, that very moment, inspiration and creativity will express.
So even if you're not feeling happy, still just do the smile?
Do the smile. Our Swamiji says, our Swamiji, what is her name? Your name? Janaki. Janaki, oh, beautiful name. Janaki, our Swamiji says, fake it till you make it. Fake the smile, because these people who are in these laughter clubs, they fake it. After some time they are actually laughing, but they don't know when did it begin,
They have classes down when I was in Varanasi. Clarity. They do laughing yoga. laughing.
You go to Bombay and in India, every square will be having these all oldies getting together, all come together, one leader, and slowly they see the joke in it and then they start laughing. But initially they are faking it, and then it actually takes over them. So if our goal is to be happy, why not begin with being happy? So the expression of because what is the reality or the divinity? It is such an Ananda Swarup. It is not Dukkha Swarup. It is not miserable. It is bliss. It is joy. And the expression of that bliss, when it expresses, which is his nature, when it expresses through the mind, it is joy, laughter, happiness, inspiration. So whatever we do right now, what am I doing? I'm speaking. I must do it with inspiration and joy in my heart, not to convince you people, not to influence you people, not to put my point across. No, I am just with it. If you are listening, you also listen joyfully. Our Swamiji says, come with an empty mind, study for come for 2 years, or come to a satsang come with an empty mind, study and go away with an empty mind. And in that empty mind, don't be depressed. Come with an empty mind means you become miserable because you have got so many projects going on in your head. Empty mind means you are blissful. That's why we go to sleep every night. Because we want to be in bliss. Think about it. So every satsang that we go to, when I take Vishnu Sahasranam, go with no expectation. If you say, I am going to do this puja or I am going to do this Vishnu Sahasranam, may I get my lottery become, or may my mother not get angry with me. May my investments come true, or may my house sell at this price. So I will do 10 times Vishnu Sahasranam. There is no end to all this. Then there will be expectation. Then you will not experience joy. There will be an itch all the time. I made a mistake, Bapre. Then fear will come in. Today we went to Bhiksha somewhere in the afternoon, and this lady says, Swamiji, I have attended many satsangs, I have read many books. Nowadays I am not interested in reading and not listening and not going to any satsang also. I said, Acha, we are eating food. She is 90-year-old. She says, all books say, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. I know I am. Immediately I said, Amma. So then we are taking a photograph. I said, Amma, put your hand on my head. Ashirwad. You are Brahman. How beautiful. I said, Amma, even with the last breath, if this disposition comes that I know I am, nothing else is important, it's life well lived. She says, yes, Swamiji. It doesn't stay, but it comes and goes. It's okay. It's okay. Sleep comes and goes. Silence comes and goes. Why not this thought-free disposition that Aham Brahmasmi, it comes and she's absolutely with it. And then world is there, it will come again. Everything is at the mental level, everything is coming and going, isn't it? But what a beautiful disposition. And the husband immediately says, Swamiji, since the first day she got that, she has become less, what is that? She's not getting angry as much. She says, I don't have anything to. You have to just take it. At that age, if she has got that, fantastic. Pranam, isn't it? More people should come into our life who are like that they have lived it. They have spent their whole life going to this satsang, that satsang, Ravana satsang, her satsang she goes. But to come to this point, who are we to judge? Isn't it? But immediately our head goes, oh, what does she think she is? Sometimes it can go, isn't it? When someone says, if she comes and says, Swamiji, I am realized. Acha? Huh? Kis khet ki muli ho? Which radish of which farm you are? Literal translation. We should not judge. It is good. If you have, fantastic. Because our scriptures themselves say, you are all realized, you just don't know it. So if you are known at least once in your life, even by fluke, fantastic. You have come across someone who has. In fact, everyone is clicking with themselves every few seconds. We just don't know that. So what are scriptures telling us? What is the purpose of scriptures?
To remind us,
Purify.
to teach us,
Hmm?
to teach us.
To teach us, to remind us, hmm? To confuse us.
It's hard learning how to be a human. I mean, it's a tough gig.
Hmm?
It's hard learning how to be a
First
human.
answer, what is a human? Then you will be able to be a human. What is a human? You asked that question, huh? I am
A
not.
conscious being, enlightened conscious being. Like how we are born perfect. And then we unlearn it along the way.
Anything that is born has got imperfection from the beginning. Perfect is only one. Which you mean to say there are two perfects. One is the reality and one is the one who is born. There cannot be two perfects. There is only one perfection. Anything that comes into existence, inherent within it is the imperfection. So who is the human? My question. Well, her question, I am taking over. Who is a human? I'm not saying divine experiencing human. Who is a human? Are you human beings? What makes you call yourself a human?
Being with the mind.
Huh? Being with a mind. Dogs also have a mind.
The ability to choose.
The ability to choose, okay.
The ability to think as well, like we have the ability on
That
our own.
ability to choose is of the mind. Mind is one of the equipments of the human being. I'm asking you, who is a human being? So, be very clear. One more clarity here. The ability to choose is in the mind or the intellect. But are you just the mind? You are also the body. You are also the breathing mechanism. You are also the, at this moment I'm talking about. So who is a human? Huh?
Choice to destroy.
Choice to destroy also, okay.
It's like the perception of, we have the perception of what is north and what is south, or what is water or what is land, and the perception of human is what we have called this entity, like the perception of a dog or a cat or a horse. It's what we've named things in our perception of, it's what our reality
Did you
is.
name it or their names were already there?
They were there.
Very human being.
But now my question is not whether you can name or not name. My question is, mind can do whatever it wants. It can keep calling names to different people. Who is a human being? Because among human beings today, before coming I was listening to the news. The from Mosul, one of the northernmost cities in Iraq. The people are running away from ISIS. And he's crying and telling these security people, the Kurds military, that if you don't pray at a particular time, they don't punish you, shoot you. If you don't listen to, if they say, hey man, and you don't listen, before you can, if you don't respond straight away, he will shoot you. If you don't read your Quran, he will shoot you. If you don't do what he asks you to do, he will shoot you. Shoot, 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 shoot. Is he a human being?
The one who is shooting.
He in a human garb, he is a demon.
Not really a human being because
He's not a human being. Then who is a human being? I've given you a clue now.
Smiling us.
Huh?
He's smiling.
He's aware of his
A dog also loves its babies.
He's aware of his consciousness.
Compassion, love of God.
The-
someone who knows that
I don't know the shloka, the verse, maybe Mataji can tell us. The one who has his mind in his control is worthy to be called a human being. So now define yourself. Are you a human being?
Sometimes.
It comes in all
Momentary human being.
half human, half demon.
See. So the criteria to be called a human being is not having 2 hands, 2 legs, being born from a womb of a mother. The criteria, and then behaving like an animal, lusting for life, desiring heaven and earth, wanting name and fame, overeating. Human, yes?
Ahara Nidra Vaya Maitra. That all Ahara Nidra Vaya Maitra. That is animal also has, human also has, but human has just Vivek.
Vivek. But somewhere I have read, I can't remember the verse,
Vivek.
that he who has controlled his mind is only worthy to be called as a human being. Because if your mind is not under your control, slowly you fall into animalistic behavior.
Maharaj, is it because the thoughts are so quick? The gap between the thoughts is so quick that we fall into this not aware continuously.
Let it happen. Waves are so quick after one after the other. Do you feel that the ocean is not there? Do you feel?
No.
Thoughts are coming. Let them come and go. You be the.
Yeah.
You be the. The reason we lose the plot is because we identify with the mind. We identify with the thoughts. What I began with, thought fixation. If I don't get this, I don't know what will happen. Oh, what will happen? Nothing is going to happen. Whatever is meant to happen will happen.
Will the slowing of the thoughts happen?
If you think, will the slowing of the thoughts will happen, they will increase. Stop having that thought.
Okay.
Chill. You know, the teenagers say, take the chill pill. Chill.
Easy said, but not too easy to do.
That is why the Lord says, offer your mind and intellect to me. I will take care of everything. We believe. Yesterday also this thought came, but I didn't expand. When I said, according to yoga, the species that you're going to be born into, the breaths that you're going to breathe, and the experience that you're going to have in your life is already predetermined. If it is going to be predetermined, what choice do you have? What choice do you have?
Surrender.
So who created this? Some people say yesterday the thought little bit we said because of our thoughts and because of our impressions. But I don't go into that angle. I hardly go into vasanas and impressions. I say the Lord has created all this. It's Lord's problem, man, not my problem. So what is my responsibility then? My responsibility is, under all circumstances, to contemplate on the Lord, see the hand of the Lord, think of the Lord, feel the Lord in my heart. And whatever is meant to happen in the outside life is already been programmed. It is going to take place no matter what. And we think we are going to be in control of our life. Forget it. It's a make-believe dream. You can never be in control of your life. Because you don't know what's going to come next. I don't know what's going to come next when I leave from here. Maybe her car is not there.
So are you saying
Lucky it is company's, it's not hers.
Are you saying it is predetermined what?
That's what I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
Yoga says that. You are a yoga student. Yoga, Patanjali says that.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yes. So these three things, the species that you're going to be born in, human species, animal species, tree species, mosquito species, depends which species, how many breaths you are going to take, and what experiences you are that are going to come to you.
But you
It's
have to
all-
take action, don't you?
Pardon me?
You
You
have
still
to take action.
If I say I am going to take the action, I create more confusion and I get caught up in this trap.
Which is
So
action
what-
needs to be taken.
It will be taken. The body will respond. The mind will think in a particular way based on your training. But for you to say that I am taking the action, I have the solution, I have to negotiate through this, this is the language that we use. Use it, but don't forget that it is the Lord's will.
So just
It's the Lord who is playing his Leela. You understand Leela? Yeah, the game. It's the Lord who is playing the Leela. I'm just an instrument. I'm only doing what He is prompting me to. He prompts the hunger in my stomach and He prompts the body and the mind to go towards the kitchen. Where have I come in between?
To control the mind,
It's very hard to discriminate sometimes between God's will and your own egoic will.
Initially it is very difficult.
Sometimes it's easy, you surrender and you know you're the truth and you're going beyond your egoic mind, and other times it's very difficult because you're coming from your conditioning and emotional.
While who is coming from the conditioning? The mind is.
mind. Yeah.
So in Panchadashi, I think this example was given. Yesterday also I gave one example. When that child was with Raman Maharaji, he told him, look at me, until I don't tell you to eat, don't eat. So he was looking total in a focused manner at Raman Maharaji, but inside his mind the thought of food is going on, the desire for food is there. But his focus is on Raman Maharaji.
so that is why.
So when you are moving in the world, let the mind do what, but one part of the mind, focus it on the divine, focus it on the Lord. Initial stages, this effort you will have to put.
So you have to use the mind to kind of control the mind. You have to use the mind because that's the only media expression that you have. So, like you lift yourself.
That's
by-
what they say.
Yeah, that's it.
So how do you control the mind? By making it focused on the one who is beyond the mind. Who is the one beyond the mind? We are given him a name, God. We are given a name, pure consciousness. We are given a name, divinity. We are given him a name, infinity.
The other side of the river.
Other side of the river. So it's an idea because you don't know what it is. Have you seen the reality? So right now the mind is there, as you are saying, is correct. But the reality is beyond the mind. But how do you bring the mind under your control? The mind cannot it can do it forcefully. Through Hatha Yoga you can do it. Through breath control you can do it. Through Kundalini you can do it. Through Kriya Yoga you can do it. But if all those exercises are not surrendered at the feet of the Lord, and if that exercise is not leading to peace and tranquility, the plot is lost. You will be more agitated than you were before. So after you people do yoga nidra, That's, you're keeping your mind absolutely silent and you're conscious of it, isn't it? That's the yoga nidra. It is very necessary. You do pranayam and don't do meditation afterwards, you see your whole day will be, you will be like firebrand everywhere. Those who do japa, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, they want to finish so many malas, they do that, and then without silencing, it should lead to silence. If it has not led to silence, go back into the world, all that pent up energy, it will be utilized by the first emotion that comes in your mind. The first issue that comes up in the mind.
One issue is still not very clear is the fatalism against surrender.
Fatalism is when there is a desire. Surrender is, in spite of that desire, you know that Lord is. Fatalism is when initially it begins like that. Initially it begins as an obsession for the Lord, for the divinity, for realization, because otherwise how will you wean your mind away from everything? Isn't it? But somewhere it must turn into sublimation.
So that's why Bhagavad Gita says, Shraddhavan labhate jnana.
Correct.
Is it,
Absolutely correct. So we must only with faith. So how do we see the mind? These are the different ways we see the mind. Who is a human being? Who has his mind under control is a human being. And ultimate understanding that the entire mind is nothing but the Leela of the Lord. Right now we see it as I am the mind, isn't it? Everyone thinks I am the mind. I have become happy, I have become... How long is he going to go on speaking still? The mind is speaking. Yeah, we got it, enough. It's the mind speaking. So all interactions are only of the mind. You stand apart. While the entire business of the world is going on, some space you keep where you are untouched by this business going on. Everyone has that capacity. Every now and then, sometimes we are pushed into that space because of the circumstances. Sometimes tragedy puts us into that space. Sometimes when we are overjoyed, we get into that space. Sometimes accidents in our life put us into that space. But all those are involuntarily we are going there. Choose in your mind to be there by thinking about it. Even though you know mind cannot get there, yet contemplate on it. How do you contemplate on it? Yesterday I gave the example. You know the eyes are there, but the eyes cannot see themselves. So you know that divinity is there, but mind is not able to get there, that means it's worthless effort. I will not put that effort. No, put efforts. And if that is very difficult to contemplate on that abstract, then take Om or take some japa, Om Namah Shivaya or whatever mantra which is spontaneously coming to you. One lady emailed me. She said, Swamiji, what is the need of initiation? I said, depends who is asking. What do you say? I'm asking. Is realization possible only after getting initiated? No, I'm asking. No. What do you say?
I don't think so necessarily.
Not necessarily. Manishi ji?
It helps, but not necessary.
Not necessary. Why not necessary? My question.
Because you are already
you are going to your own self.
So no need of a teacher who initiates you?
No, it can help.
Like that spark.
If you already
sometimes.
initiated
Yeah.
from your previous photos.
Then why you're not there yet?
It's somebody to
Why you're not there yet?
Because it takes work.
There are
Sometimes,
That distance is only in your mind. Mind is a product of time, space, and objectivity.
yeah.
initiation is in mind.
Good. If you continue to, I never had a teacher till I met Anubahanji, but my sadhana went on for 14 years. And nobody was there to, I didn't know any books, nothing. But just one thing. Afterwards, after 12 years, my grandfather came to me and then he formally initiated me into the Kundalini sadhana. But one day I was just there and it started, one exercise. And what to do next? I'm searching, but there's nobody there. And then after some time, when the agitation has reached its, oh man, by thinking like this, I'm getting more agitated. And then what to do? You sit in silence. You let go of everything. I don't want to look at it anymore. And suddenly, in that silence, the next step reveals itself.
Yeah.
Is that initiation? Yes. Some people, so this lady asked me, so do I need to be initiated? I said, if you have self-confidence, if you have if you are absolutely clear of everything, then no. But if you think, if you want to postpone, if you want to create a journey where there is no journey, if you want to create a journey where there is no journey, then, and you don't want to take the responsibility, then go and get initiated. See? Why we take initiations? Because we don't want to be responsible for our life and journey.
Again, the response can be confused with egocentric, right?
As long as you are in that silence, you will come to know what is the difference between a desire and a intuitive revelation. You come to know. Mother knows about her children. Men, it is difficult. So.
We all love listening to the truth. We love listening to Swamiji and you,
Yes.
and hearing the truth is just, we like to hear it.
True.
Well, I can speak for myself. I
Yeah.
love to hear it. I love to be it. It's my happiness.
But tell me one thing, in a 24-hour period, whom are you listening to most? Thank you. You are talking to yourself the most. So what should be the quality of that communication? That is initiation. See? So why do we like coming to satsangs? Because we are not spending the time in our mind talking to ourselves what we should be talking. We like it here. Someone else talks, it sounds nice. But when I talk to myself, man, it's boring. Om Namah Shivaya, whole day Om Namah Shivaya. No, there should be some spice in life. Om Namah Shivaya, Om. Or something different. So let's program or as we said, we speak to ourselves the most. And let that communication with ourselves be of such a quality that it cannot take us beyond, but the mind dissolves. And how will the mind dissolve itself? When it thinks about those ideas, that divinity, which cannot be cognized by the mind. So you think of infinity, you think of contemplate, not just think, contemplate on infinity from all different angles. Put all the questions about infinity. You cannot come to a conclusion about infinity. Think about eternity. You cannot come to any conclusion. Think about Brahman, larger than the larger. You cannot come to a conclusion. If you come to a conclusion, that is not the answer. So anything that leads to conclusion is the mind. If you're contemplating Nitya, Shuddha, eternal, unborn, most ancient, undying, self-knowing, all-knowing, all-pervading, these are ideas presented to our mind where the mind dissolves itself. As long as we are without any preformed notion coming to these thoughts and sitting with them with a cup of coffee or tea. Not coffee, you'll get agitated. Tea. Sit in the nice, beautiful sunshine, cup, infinity. And you will vanish. You will vanish. For how long? For some time. Because the pressure is there from behind. Again the mind will come, make it into a habit. In Melbourne I just told in one satsang, I said, you keep a beeper in your pocket. He says, why Swamiji? In Panchadashi class. I said, if you keep a beeper, put that beeper every 20 minutes. I said, why? Every time the beeper beeps, you know, it's time to chill. Drop anything that you're doing, go to your seat or go to a toilet and just come back to the self. Make your mind to take a reverse U-turn and contemplate on some thought of infinity. He says, okay, after 1 month, make it 15 minutes. After 1 month, make it 10 minutes or 12 minutes. And slowly, 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 as you become comfortable with it, there should be no agitation. Arey, yaar, again 20 minutes already over. This thought should not come. And with great excitement, this fellow goes, Swamiji, it has come to 5-7 minutes something, and then he didn't come to me. After that, he did not come to me. Why? Not required. It became a norm for him. See, it's practice. Mind requires a practice. This is how we see the mind. Mind will continue to go back into whatever it was doing, but we have to take the charge of the mind, and we can take the charge of the mind only when we see the mind as something separate to us. I can lift you, I can turn you, because you are separate to me, isn't it? If you feel that you have to do something, do this. If you feel you are helpless, I can't, no, this world is too much for me, leave it to the Lord then. Leave it to the Lord and think of the Lord. That's also another way. But if you practice this, even this beeper thing, it's fantastic. I have practiced it, that's why I'm telling you. And very quickly, before you know, if you are sincere with it, within few weeks, it becomes automatic inside of you. Like a girl gets married. She was not a wife before. How much time does it take for her to think that she's a wife? She's telling her experience, couple of minutes. One garland around and I am Mrs. Bhargava. And ask the guy, I am still a bachelor, man. I'm not. Did I get married? I don't know. I'm not able to drop my bachelorhood yet. It takes them lifetime to drop that. Isn't it? How quickly. So we know how to get identified. And once you start coming back to the source, coming to be, in spite of the mind, making the mind contemplate on the truth, does not mean that mind will vanish. Mind will still be there. But now you have caught the game. Remember that child who got burnt by the fire, but now is the master of the fire. The child who fell from the cycle many times, but now he is a master of a cycle. He does Tour de France. Similarly, we who are getting caught up in the mind, now we become the masters of the mind. Practice. Practice. Practice not of the mind. Practice of only one focus. The Lord in our heart with faith and devotion or contemplating on the truth or coming to the silence and not coming to a conclusion in silence. The presence will reveal itself in the silence. It cannot be any other way. This is how we see the mind. And this is the beautiful mind. This is the beautiful mind. That mind, if mind is continuously monotonous, it's boring. It has to go through ups and downs, but it is already programmed to go through like that. Mirror doesn't say, if you go with an angry face in front of mirror, you will get a angry face back. If you go with a smiling face, you will get a smiling face. You get a cheeky face, you get a cheeky face reflected back. Exactly the same way. Such a person who has disentangled himself from the mind, wherever that person goes, you come with a smile, from that mind will come back smiling to you. You come with angry, he will also come back angry. Mahatmas are like that. They're like Balavat. Instant response. But there is no identification. There was one Macaulay Baba or someone. He used to live on an island in Rishikesh in the middle of the Gangaji. And every day his food was Macaulay Baba something. Many years ago. During Akhandananji's period. And he used to, whole day he will just sit there. He will not come to the shore. Only on that island. And he'll catch one fish every day and he'll eat it. And people flocking around. They go in their boats, they swim there and go to that island. And anyone can get away from here and shout it and then throw those stones and catch the fish, and live fish he will throw at them. And so Akhandananji Maharaj, he went to him. Babaji, you are a great person. Get away from here. No, but you are a great Mahatma. Why do you become angry? It does not suit a Mahatma. He's got an image in his head. It does not suit a Mahatma to be angry and to be screaming and saying these abusive words and everything. He says, did I ask you to come to the island? He's screaming away. Did I ask you to come to this island? No. Am I asking you to leave the island? No. Exactly the same way. Whatever the mind is saying or not saying, who cares? See? Whatever the mind is saying or not saying, who cares? Similarly, Nisargadatta Maharaj, they asked him, Baba, they say, you're a Mahatma, you are realized. So what? Why you are still smoking? Why this addiction still? Oh, the mind needs to survive, and I have left one addiction for him. Let it continue. See? Who can say that? Can we say that? I have left one addiction. That with every passing breeze, I should become emotional. On account of children, grandchildren, husband, wife, I must become. This is not, we are at its mercy then. Only such masters who have come to that stage can see the mind as its own extension. It's just a phenomena. We take it to be real. It is not real. Light is a phenomena. The bulb, the matter, electricity, the consciousness, when these two come together, a principle of light is created. Exactly the same way. Consciousness and matter, the body, when they come together, the principle of life, which is the mind, comes about. It is a principle. Nothing happens if one person dies or one person is born. Nothing happens to the principle of light. Nothing happens if one bulb fuses. You'll put another bulb there.
Conflict in that explanation when we earlier talked about the smile, the happiness that comes about because of the nature of divinity, then isn't that a conflict when there are Maharajas or whoever that in the sense they express that anger or
He is not expressing anger. You are saying he is
his mind.
Let it. He's saying let it.
But that-
Because he's
that
not
a
taking his
conflict?
mind to be his mind.
Mm.
Because what will come out of the mind? Whatever has been programmed, no?
For us to smile and be cheerful is an effort. For them it's not.
For them it is not. He is happy inside.
He is disowned.
Exactly. He's seeing it as a phenomena.
Yeah, is not.
We are not seeing it as a phenomena, therefore all the sadhana and the practices that are required. And after that practice is over, the mind will continue to be whatever it has to be. Either you accept it right now and start living like that. Go and make your own tea. Make one for me also. Why you are not saying lovingly? Mind is saying like that. I didn't laugh it off.
And I can respond the same way, right?
I'm giving you the freedom.
Tomorrow morning is going to be an interesting experience. With the tea.
Chandrasekhar in trouble. Chandrasekhar in trouble.
No, I make my own tea.
If you take anger further, as you were saying earlier with the shooting and that's not being a human being, you know, ISIS. You know, like being a human being, although all human beings have divinity within them, you know, but it's not being a human being when you shoot and, you know, all the anger and the rage and things like that.
The Lord says, I am the gods and I am the demons. Nothing is outside of me. I myself became everything. Start accepting that about yourself also.
But what about a human being? You said being a human being. That's not being a human
Because as long as you think you are an individual, as long as you think you have to do something, then all that type of teachings come. But if you come to a point of devotion, from taking action, taking ownership, you are coming to a point of surrender now. And at the point of surrender, the Lord, as you become fixated on the God or the divinity, you have not got all the answers, but you are searching for it. And you come to this point, suddenly it dawns upon you, as it says in Bhagavad Gita, that the Lord says, I am everything that there is in this world. I am the Pandavas, I am the Kauravas, I am the demons, I am the gods. Nothing can be outside of me because I alone am. So I alone am, and is that not our experience? Good thoughts are also mine, bad thoughts are also mine.
But to experience the self, the purpose of life, the rising of love, of bliss and peace, beyond the mind, that arising that happens that doesn't...
Beyond the mind there is no arising.
That's not anger and that's not...
No, beyond the mind there is no arising. Beyond the mind is only being.
Well, being, I mean that.
Being only. There is no coming and going, there is no to so much love. Self does not experience love because it is of the nature of love.
That's right.
But that starts expressing through the mind.
That's right.
That is its expression.
That's right. So
And
why
as
is
it
the
starts expressing, the integration of the mind will start coming about. Integration of the mind will start coming. I'll give you an example. Buddha was there, and have you heard of Angulimal? Angulimal was a very notorious murderer, like a demon, and he had killed 107 people, and his goal was to kill 108 and collect their thumbs and make a mala. Why? Because he had been wronged by the kingdom, and that was whatever the king was there that time. And the last person he found was Buddha. Look at it. And he came from behind with an axe and he was about to... Buddha didn't even see him. His hand stopped in the air. Buddha turned, what do you want? And the story, whatever the story is, eventually he becomes one of the greatest disciples of his. Take another story from the Puranas. This is from recent past, 2,500 years ago. Take from 25,000 years ago now. Prahlad. Prahlad is born to a demon, but abducted by gods while he was in the womb of his mother, saved by Narad Muni, taken to the ashram, born in an ashram, but even though all his genes are of the demonic genes, but by continuous exposure to the divine thought, in the womb he heard the Bhagavatam. When he grows, he is Narad Muni just doing his meditation and chanting Om Vishnave Namaha. So he also chants Om Vishnave Namaha throughout life. Till he is taken to his father, this Lord's name is going on. The entire annihilation, so to speak, of the negativity in his mind, which may have been there because he is a product of his father and his mother. Both are of the Asura Kul. How did that come about? Because of the grace of the Lord. This is what happens in devotion. That a devotee starts seeing everything as the Lord's doing, not his doing. He gets prompted to do whatever. He sees the Lord's hand in it. And slowly, the only theme that remains in the devotee's mind is the Lord. So, the negative thoughts are not other than the divinity. From a way of approaching that thought. So, all the thoughts in the mind, good thoughts or bad thoughts, can they be without a consciousness, pure consciousness? No. That pure consciousness alone is becoming the good and the bad thoughts. The water alone is becoming the tsunami as well as the gentle waves. The gold itself is becoming nice thing to wear around your neck or a dagger. It has got nothing to do with the gold. That's just expression. Similarly, the Lord also expresses as the entire. Yet He is beyond that.
In fact, in duality, you have the two extremes, right?
It can be close and it keeps going apart, and then again, duality is the mind, and in duality there is yesterday we were talking about it. It is contraction and expansion. It is not in the self. It is in the mind. It is in the phenomena, this contraction and expansion. Contraction is deep sleep, expansion is waking and dream. And this phenomena is going on. You get realized, it will still go on. You come to know yourself, you come to surrender, still the contraction and expansion will continue. It will not stop. But seeing that contraction and expansion as vibhuti of the Lord, vibhuti, you understand? Specific manifestation of the Lord. Every thought is a specific manifestation of the divinity that we essentially are. Every emotion is also the same. Every breath is also the same. Every object in this creation is a specific manifestation of that divinity. Just like every wave is a specific manifestation of the infinite waters. You cannot work this out. You are trying to logically work it out. That much can be said. That's it. Now allow it to reveal. Keep it in your mind. Keep your focus on it. Allow it to reveal. You cannot logically work it out about yourself, because seeing the water as manifesting as waves, you can understand. But self coming as chill. Stop working it out. Just be with it, and it will reveal itself. See? So with this, we conclude. Because now God in the form of food is calling us. So this is how the story of the mind, the beautiful mind is. And hope we have been able to share something interesting. And Om Purnamada Purnamedam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a minute.